chapter challenge.
Presenting. Physics in basketball.
Newton's first law of motion. An object at rest remains at rest, and an object in motion remains in motion until a force acts on it. The ball stops its motion once it's caught by another player.
Here are some basic concepts. Inertia is a natural tendency for an object to remain at rest or to keep moving at a constant speed in a straight line. Newton used Galileo's law of inertia as a basis for his first law of motion. Constant speed and acceleration.
Average speed is the distance traveled divided by the time taken to travel the distance. Instantaneous speed is the speed measured during an instant.
Here, a constant speed is present.
Acceleration is a change in an object's velocity over a period of time. The formula is acceleration equals change in speed divided by time term.
Negative acceleration brings an object to a stop. Positive acceleration occurs when the object is accelerating in the same direction as velocity.
Newton's second law of motion. Newton's second law of motion consists of the acceleration of an object is proportional to the balanced force acting on the object, and it is inversely proportional to the mass of the object. In other words, a large force produces a large acceleration, a small produces a small acceleration. The larger the mass, the less acceleration an object will have, and if the mass is small, the acceleration will be bigger.
The player threw the ball with great force, which led to great acceleration and caused the player receiving the ball to jump to catch it. The player uses a large force, which makes the ball get to the backward faster. Projectile motion. To projectile means to make an object travel through the air or any other medium.
There are many factors to projectile motion. Gravity is a force that attracts an object or a body to the center of the earth. Force is a push or pull. Objects in motion remain in motion at a constant speed unless a force acts on it, making the object slow down until it reaches a full stop. For force equals mass times acceleration. Force is represented in newtons, mass is represented in kilograms, acceleration is represented in meters per second squared.
When you flick a coin against another one which is at the edge of the table, both coins will fall on the floor at the same time, even though they do not travel the same direction. The coin that was hit at the edge of the table falls straight down. The coin that was flicked will travel horizontally until eventually gravity makes it fall on the floor.
The range of projectiles.
There are many factors to projectile motion. All balls travel in parabolas. 45-degree angles produces the greatest distance, 90-degree angles produces the highest point, and the distance traveled at pairs of angles 30 and 60 and 10 and 80, 20 and 70 reach the same distance.
Newton's third law of motion. For every applied force, there is an equal and opposite force. The two forces always act on different objects. Center of mass, the point at which all the mass of an object is concentrated. Frictional forces. Friction is a force that resists relative motion between two bodies in contact. Potential and kinetic energy. Kinetic energy is energy associated with motion. Gravitational potential energy is energy an object possesses because of its vertical position from Earth. Potential energy is energy associated with position.
Conservation of energy.
Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It can be transformed from one form to another, but the total amount of energy remains the same.
Work is the product of the displacement and the force in the direction of the displacement. Elastic potential energy, also called spring potential energy, is the energy of a spring due to its compression or stretch.
As you may have noticed, basketball has a lot of physics in it. And the next time you watch a basketball game, you should take in mind all the factors you see while basketball is happening.